The movie begins outside a mansion in the Catskills where a group of college friends, Haley, Grant, Paxton, Paige, Elise, Madeline, and Lucas, have rented the place for Elise's birthday. They all wish Elise a happy birthday and start playing a drinking game, like Truth or Dare. During the game, Grant and Haley quietly tell their friends that they broke up on the way to the mansion because they feel their relationship is going in different directions. Grant tells the guys, while Haley tells the girls. The group goes inside the mansion and realizes they are out of drinks. Haley offers to go to the store, but Paige says no because it would take too long. Instead, they start searching the house and find a restricted area with a locked door. They break the lock and sneak inside. Inside, they discover a collection of artifacts. Haley, who is an astrologist, notices that everything is related to astrology. While looking around, Paxton finds a wooden box with a zodiac chart carved on it. Inside, they find an old deck of tarot cards. Haley points out that they are hand-painted and very unique. Since they can't drink, the group convinces Haley to do tarot readings for them, even though she warns them that using someone else's deck is a major rule they shouldn't break. They turn off the lights in the room, light a candle, and everyone sits down as Haley gets ready to read. Haley starts with Elise, who gets the High Priestess card. Her reading says she will be climbing a ladder, but warns her to slow down. Madeline gets the Hangman card, and Haley tells her that Pisces, her zodiac sign, tend to run from danger. Paige gets the Magician, which means a big change is coming in her future. Lucas gets the Hermit and is told he will gain great wealth and possibly find love. There is a hint that he and Madeline like each other. Paxton gets the Fool, but Haley tells him he will help his friends in unexpected ways. Grant doesn't want to play, but Haley does his reading anyway. He gets the Devil card and is warned that he might lose someone close to him. Finally, Haley does her own reading and gets the Death card. She says this means love will be the death of her. Moments later, a series of mysterious images appear, showing an ancient evil awakening. The next day, the group gets ready to leave the mansion and head back to campus. On the way, they stop at a gas station, where Lucas buys a scratch-off ticket and wins $700, just like his reading predicted. After they return home, Paige and Elise talk on the phone since they're dating. While on the call, Elise hears strange noises coming from her attic. She notices the ladder has come down and decides to check it out. As she looks around, she sees a shadow moving. When she looks away for a moment and then back up, she finds candles lit everywhere. She sees tarot card of High Priestess on the floor. Suddenly, she comes face to face with a monstrous version of the High Priestess from her tarot card. In shock, she falls from the ladder. The High Priestess then slams the ladder onto Elise's body repeatedly until it crushes and impales her. The next day, the police arrive at the crime scene, and news of Elise's death spreads. The group is devastated, especially Paige, who mourns her deeply. Haley stays with Paige and tries to comfort her. She shares that she first got into tarot readings when her mother was sick with cancer. Haley kept searching for a reading that would bring good news, but every time, the cards only showed death. Meanwhile, Lucas walks Madeline home. He tells her he's really sad about Elise's death and probably won't be able to sleep. He says if she needs anything, she can come to his place. They hug and Lucas leaves. As Lucas walks to the subway station, the lights start flickering. He keeps going until he spots a figure, the Hermit, the creature from his tarot card, standing in the station. The Hermit begins stalking him, following him around the station. Scared, Lucas ends up wandering into a restricted rail yard. The Hermit traps him inside an inactive train and frightens him. Lucas stumbles backward, falls out of the train, and gets hit by an oncoming train and dies. The next day, the remaining 5 friends find out that Lucas died at the subway station. They are all questioned by the police. The police ask how Lucas ended up in an active train yard late at night. Madeline tells the officer that Lucas walked her home and then planned to take the train back to his place. After questioning them, the officer allows them to go home. At home, Haley starts to realize that Elise and Lucas's deaths match their tarot readings, but no one believes her. She does some research and discovers that a woman named Alma Astrom has knowledge about deaths linked to tarot readings. Haley convinces Grant, Paxton, Paige, and Madeline to go with her to visit Alma. They arrive at the location, and when Haley asks her to open the door, Alma coldly refuses. Haley then explains what is happening to them as their 2 friends are died. And if Alma does not help them, they also die. Alma finally listens and opens the door. Alma lets them in, and Haley explains about the tarot. Alma quickly realizes that the deaths are linked to the specific tarot cards they found in the box. She explains that everyone who has used those cards for readings has died, except for her. She's the only survivor from a similar series of deaths in London. Alma then tells them about the card's origin. In the 1700s, a wealthy count called an astrologer named Sunčeka Milanović to do a reading because his wife and child were very sick. However, every reading she did predicted death. When the countess and her child eventually died, the count accused the astrologer of witchcraft and ordered her daughter to be hanged. Filled with rage and grief, the astrologer cursed the cards before taking her own life, binding her spirit to them. She also did a final reading for the count and his men, which led to their gruesome deaths. Alma warns the group that the only way to stop the curse is to find the deck and destroy it. Paige rebooks the mansion so they can go back and destroy the deck. On the way there, the group grows more anxious, fearing who might be next. As they drive across a bridge, Grant's car suddenly slows down and then completely shuts off. Madeline notices a figure of a hangman appearing on the foggy window and realizes she is the next target. Since her reading said that people like her tend to run from danger, the group suggests she do the opposite to break the curse. But in a panic, Madeline runs out of the car anyway, and Haley chases after her. At the same time, Grant, Paxton, and Paige jump out as another spirit begins attacking. Madeline keeps running, but the hangman appears, lowers his noose, and grabs her by the neck, hanging her in front of Haley. The other three also arrives there and are shocked to find Madeline's body hanging in the bridge. After this, Haley, Grant, and Paige decide to continue to the mansion, but Paxton abandons them and returns to campus. There, he is stalked by the fool, who follows him while giggling creepily. Panicked, Paxton runs into a building and gets into an elevator. As the doors close, he notices the fool's mask shifting expressions. Before he can react, the fool manages to enter the elevator and suddenly lunges at him. Haley, Grant, and Paige return to the mansion and find a deck. They throw it into the fireplace, but to their horror, the cards do not burn. Just then, Alma arrives to help. She suggests conducting a seance to contact the astrologer's spirit. However, instead of getting answers, the astrologer does a reading for Alma and draws the Six of Swords card. Suddenly, Alma is pulled into the darkness, and when she reappears, she is dead with 6 swords in her back. Terrified, Haley and Grant run, while Paige gets separated from them. She is soon stalked by the magician and finds herself in a strange theater, trapped as his unwilling assistant. The magician locks her inside a box, and before she can escape, he saws her in half. Haley and Grant hide, knowing their killers are coming for them. While waiting, Haley tells Grant that before they started dating, she did a reading that said their relationship wouldn't last, but she ignored it. Later, before they broke up, she did another reading, and it gave the same result. Before they can talk more, the devil suddenly appears and drags Grant through a window, while Haley is hunted by death. Desperate, Haley reaches the deck and realizes the only way to break the curse is to complete the astrologer's reading. She draws the death card for the astrologer, but uses it to confront her own grief over her mother's death. She also tries to help the astrologer let go of her sorrow over losing her daughter. Grant returns just in time to protect Haley as a surge of energy erupts, destroying the astrologer's spirit. At the same time, the cursed deck finally burns to ashes. In the final moment, a vision shows the astrologer finally reuniting with her daughter in the afterlife. Haley and Grant walk away from the mansion when they see a car approaching. At first, they fear it's another spirit, but to their surprise, Paxton steps out of the car, alive and well. They embrace him, realizing that his reading about coming through for his friends in an unexpected way has come true. On the way back, Paxton explains that he survived because his roommate, Todd, opened the elevator door, causing the fool to vanish. With the curse finally broken, Grant reflects on how they were able to change their fates, and Haley responds, "Stupid fate." In this way, movie ends here. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more interesting movie recaps.